Yo, what's good, y'all? SacredAlmighty here. How y'all doing? Today, we're gonna be reacting to a very interesting video. If you're one of those like Pokemon lore junkies like I am, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a side of me that some of y'all will probably never see. You might have seen it in like live streams and a couple of videos, but like there's a side of me when it comes to Pokemon like lore and like nuance or whatever that like I low-key sound like lore keeper Toby sometimes, bro. But like a more mad scientist version of it. You know what I'm saying? Am I insane? Yes. Do I think I'm right? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But today, we're going to be talking about Arceus's fourth creation. I'm not really sure what's going on, but this video has like 1 million views and it came out 2 months ago. So obviously, I'm going to react to it. Welcome to Why Was Arceus's Fourth Creation a Mistake by Amazed Dragon. You already know what I'm going to say, right? Make sure you all hit the like button for the boy. If you want to support it even further, consider signing up over on the website in the description section below, SacredAlmighty.com. But then also be sure to go in the description as well and go show support to the original video in the description section below. Go leave a like on that video and leave a like on this video. You ready for it? Let's go.
Arceus created the Pokemon of Myth in order to guard over the domains of time, space, and antimatter.
Right.
However, I don't think that this recount of history is complete. The evidence scattered throughout the games point towards there being a fourth member, and I believe that this fourth guardian was the original dragon that later split into Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. We know there
was... now off rip, I like this theory. I think that very valid. That's very valid. Because he actually showed you on like the map or whatever. It shows you like where these things are at. Because if you remember the Dragon Spiral, there is the orbs for the dragons. There are the I'm pretty sure they're like he's gonna be talking about like the lake spirits being at the Cave of Being. Maybe. Because remember the Cave of Being looks like the lake caves in the original games. And like I'm pretty sure like what's her face, Juniper or somebody, there's a text in Generation 5 Black and White 2 that talk about the Cave of being like resembling those caves or like being a part of those caves. I don't know, but I already like where this is going. Off rip, I'm gonna just say that right now.
Dragon that later split into Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. We know there was once a fourth guardian, as each of the creation dragons has a secondary typing that aligns with the state of matter.
Solid.
Steel typing ties it to solids.
Gas.
Papia's water typing connects it to liquids.
Or liquid.
Giratina's ghost typing
and then
links
gas.
it to gases.
Yeah, okay.
But none of the three represent plasma in any shape or form. This fourth member would have embodied the aspect of energy, and...
Wait a minute. Team Plasma. Come on. Pick up. Come on, catch it. Come. It's like so like low key. It's like, of course, no shit, Nick. It's like, yeah, of course. But I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up badly right now.
How do we know that it was the original dragon who once represented plasma? Well, the first hint that is given to us is in the numbers themselves. The Pokemon of Myth actually have some really interesting statistics that show their correlation to Reshiram and Zekrom.
Okay.
All of their respective base stats total up to 680, with each individual value being shifted around based on the Pokemon themselves. Reshiram most closely resembles Dialga in terms of stats, having only their defense and special defense stats flipped. Zekrom, though, has a very different stat spread compared to any one of them, being the only one of the 5 to have an attack stat above 120. However, Kyurem's base stats are a jumbled mess compared to the others. Both of its defenses are lower than any of the other 5, and its attack stats are balanced between that of Reshiram and Zekrom. Kyurem's strange stat distribution, as well as the Dao Trio's ability to wield plasma, can be explained through their origins. There are 2 interpretations on how this trio of dragons came to be. The first one is that Reshiram and Zekrom were once part of a single, powerful dragon who was used by twin heroes to create the Unova region. However, the brothers each sought something different in life, truth for the older brother and ideals for the younger. Their conflicting views caused them to fight over which side was right, and in response, the single dragon split into two.
Yeah.
Reshiram fought for truth, while Zekrom for ideals. In this first interpretation, Kyurem was believed to be different than the two. It was thought that it came from an icy meteor crash landing into a place called Giant Chasm. However, while this was thought to be true in the first games, the sequel gave us a different theory, and it's the one I'll be referencing to throughout the video. Drayden tells the player of an old legend that conflicts with Kyurem's origins. It states that when the original dragon split into Reshiram and Zekrom, a third dragon was created from the leftovers, Kyurem. This is then further supported by its Pokédex entry stating that it's waiting for a hero to fill its missing parts with ideals or truth. And then it's shown to be true when it undergoes fusion with either Reshiram or Zekrom. Reshiram wields white-hot fire, while Zekrom controls electricity. Together they symbolize two of the most common natural plasmas, but they also represent the two dualities in Taoism. Reshiram, who embodies Yang, uses its powers to actively burn anyone who ignores the truth. Its design was made to be light, airy, graceful, and feminine, which actually directly contrasts the traditionally male role Yang plays in Taoism. Zekrom, on the other hand, embodies Yin. The lightning it produces is fast and dynamic, slamming particles together with force. Its design was made to be tough and masculine in order to contrast both Reshiram's design as well as the female role Yin usually plays. So while both control plasma to a certain extent, they don't control it in its purest form. Kyurem, in contrast, is said to possess a power exceeding even Reshiram's and Zekrom's. And that makes sense, as a dragon designed to control pure plasma would logically need to surpass the raw elemental power of fire and electricity. Furthermore, Kyurem's connection to absolute zero, which is the absence of all thermal energy, can be seen as the inverse pole of plasma, allowing the original Kyurem to control it, mirroring the concept of Wuji in Taoist philosophy. So when the twin aspects of Reshiram and Zekrom were split apart, Kyurem's original balanced form became unstable and left behind an empty husk, losing its place among the pantheon of creation dragons. That also means the Kyurem we meet in Black and White is just a fractured remnant of that once whole plasma core. While we are able to use the DNA splicers to see parts of how Kyurem once looked like, the full appearance of the original dragon's complete form is unknown to us. Or is it? Well, yeah, mostly anyway. In the manga we do get...
I always thought that, like, the original dragon was really just, like, Kyurem standing up and then having, like, both, like, having, like, his body split between, like, both the dominant features. Because if you know, Kyurem Black and Kyurem White, they all have, like, that one side that's, like, frozen. And then the other side is, like, the arm or the wing or whatever. And I just thought, like, oh, hey, the ice would have, like, separated them and it would have, like, it'd be a yin-yang dragon. Like something like this. Something like this, or I'm just dragging a whole bunch of images over, or trying to collect a whole bunch of images. But, like, ideally, something like this, would be crazy. It's not too far off. I think this seems like the most, like, it seems like the most, like, doable, because obviously, like I said, see, it has the big ass arm on the side and it has the wing on the side. It's a split dragon with the gray being, like, where the legs are at, the ice being there. And, like, I'm assuming that the back with a little, like, volt thing would, like, just start changing colors. And it would just be, like, a different color every time, Or, I don't know if anyone remembers, there was that humongous, like, Giga Leak that happened. And there was that, like, one unreleased, or that one purple dragon sprite that, like, was never used. Maybe that's a beta Kyurem, maybe that's a beta Kyurem, but I think that, like, in my mind, I think that Pokemon knows exactly what the original dragon is, because there's no reason that, like, you have, because I'm pretty sure there's that Godstone file, or that Godstone that looks like the gray version of, like, the black and the white orb thing that they were in or whatever. There's that, and I'm like, okay, it's gray. This could either be Pokemon Gray for Kyurem, or you all had an idea that you all were just like, oh no, let's just, because Pokemon Fusion's a big thing. I'm pretty sure there's probably, like, gonna be a video on, like, a video somewhere about, like, the creation of Black and White 2. But I always thought that, like, it was just gonna be them, like, Kyurem standing up and that'd be it, right? Or, like, split down the middle and that'd be it, And I'm pretty sure,
See the
hold
original
on,
dragon silhouette. We're briefly shown a black and white winged two-horned figure, which honestly isn't a whole lot to go off of, but it's better than nothing. If you've got some speculations what it might have actually once looked like, then do leave a comment. And while you're down there, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate every single one of you. The in-game evidence supporting our theory of Kyurem being the member that embodies energy is actually pretty plentiful. In Unova, there's a location called the Cave of Being. After you become the champion in White 2 and Black 2, this very cavern is visited by the Lake Trio, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azalf. Now, why would Sinnoh's psychic avatars of knowledge, emotion, and willpower be drawn to Unova? Well, it gets much easier to explain if the individual pieces of the energy creation dragon were to reside in this very region. Since the Lake Trio were first created by Arceus in order to calm and control Dialga, Palkia, and in our theoretical case, the original dragon, it would...
Yes, because Giratina is not... He's been banished forever ago. You get what I'm saying? Like he was like... I think people underestimate or misinterpret like what Giratina is. Like, he's created by Arceus, yes, but he's the rebellion one. He sent that nigga to a whole different like universe. Like, you're not a part of this. So why is there 3 Pokemon to monitor 2 Pokemon when there could have been a 3rd one out of those 2, and that'd be it? Giratina is just like you getting out of here, buddy. You're cooked. You know what I'm saying? You're done. You're done, Ski. Get out. You feel me? Makes sense.
Makes sense if they came to Unova because they were looking for the lost member. This is then further supported by their individual actions. After you encounter the trio in the cave, they fly off to various places, making you run across the whole damn country trying to catch them. Thanks, Nintendo. Uxie is found in Nacrene City, right in front of their museum. The exact same building where the light or dark stone used to be found in. Well,
yes,
before it was taken away by the player like 2 years prior to these events. Anyway, Mesprit heads to the top of Celestial Tower, a place to bury deceased Pokemon. Meanwhile, Azalf gets itself lost on Route 23. So, sure, I could pull the connection of Mesprit mourning the loss of the original dragon, as it's the avatar of emotion, and Azalf appearing in the route beside the giant chasm where Kyurem is first found, since it's the avatar of willpower. But I feel as though those 2 last ones are stretching it in terms of evidence, so I think I'll leave that up to you to decide. Then
that's
there
not a
are
bad
the
reach.
creation orbs themselves. The Adamant, Lustrous, and Griseous orbs are tied directly to the Sinnoh trio, and in Black and White's postgame, Ghetsis was implied to have something planned in relation to them, possibly using the orbs to reconnect Kyurem with its 2 counterparts, but this never came to fruition, and instead he just ordered his subordinates to hand them over to the player. How generous of him. Coincidentally, these orbs also reappear within Unova's Dragon Spiral Tower in the sequels, the same place where the other stone was found in the first games. It's also said that this tower is where legendary Pokemon are created and then subsequently slumber, so it's quite fitting to have a part of the original dragon originally created by Arceus to be found here. While we're on the topic of smooth round stones, the Generation 5 games actually had an unused item called the Godstone in its code, which looks extremely similar to both of the other rocks. Since it wasn't ever used, we can't be sure on whether this was a sort of prototype for the Dark and Light versions, or if this Godstone was actually meant for Kyurem. But for the sake
or it was created for the original dragon, maybe. Because you gotta think, at some point, you know, let's say there's like a Black and White 2 or a Black and White 3 beta or something like that. And it's like, okay, cool, hey, this is the big climax of the game. This Pokemon is way too strong. Let's put this thing down. And you gotta put him back in a little orb thing for nobody else to use him, because he has to slumber. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the whole purpose. This is the whole lore of the Dragon Spiral Tower. It's like, yeah, we created this thing right in front of you. Put this thing to sleep now, because he's too strong. He's too active. It'd be a cool little post-game thing. But no, I think Kyurem, I mean, it could have been used for Kyurem, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But like, what would a Husk need to be sleeping? You know what I'm saying? It's like oh, hey, like it makes sense for the 2 living Pokemon, because essentially Kyurem is a living being, but he's not like a I would say he's like a lifeless shell, But it's like you can definitely tell he's like just sitting there in the giant chasm, mad as hell. I lost all my powers. I lost everything. Bring them back to me. Anyway, man.
This theory, I will go on to say that it was, but never utilized for either another Legends game like ZA, or meant as a hidden teaser to those who data mine the game's code. Now, to wrap up the section about Arceus' balls, I would like to answer the question of where's the original dragon's orb? While there isn't one found in any of the games,
Yo, man, I'm such a child still. Damn it, bruh.
I believe that by combining the light, dark, and godstones through something like an alchemical process, you would get the orb associated with the energy aspect. Why alchemical process? Well, that has something to do with the fact that the Tao trio actually has some pretty close connections to alchemy itself, with Reshiram embodying sulfur or spiritual wisdom, Zekrom embodying mercury or the active force, and Kyurem embodying salt, the grounding force which binds the other two. I actually thought of another smaller theory that might be worth mentioning. While I was comparing the Tao trio's moveset, I saw a little bit of a trend. What's if the move Tri-Attack originated from this member of the Creation Dragons? It's not that far-fetched, especially with each of them learning a part of the move. Reshiram learns Flamethrower, Kyurem learns Ice Beam, and Zekrom learns Thunderbolt. But hey, that's just a theory. Anyway, I think I hit all of the vital points for the theory, but maybe I missed something important. If so, then write a comment down below so that I can pin it to the top for others to see. If you want more theories like this, then subscribe to the channel.
That's not a bad. I cannot speak. This is a really cool looking video. I want you to know that was a really, really good video. That was a really good video, bro. I honestly think that's one of the most bulletproof like theories ever. I think I've seen in a minute. I'm gonna be honest with you. Plus, you also could add, if you remember, in the you get the Arceus plates in those ruins right next to Undella Town, I'm pretty sure. Or not, but whatever the ruins at the bottom of the ocean are, right? Don't you get Arceus's plates around there? Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, old Hisui got, like, was a lot bigger. Because remember, too, let's talk about it. Remember, too, back then, right? If you remember back in Legends Arceus, there was that alder drawing from the old ancient leaders or whatever. That would explain what that is too, because maybe like there was a big migration out that way. You never know. See, because now we putting two and two together. Maybe there's like little things here that it's like, okay, cool. These regions are more connected than we like to give off. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a theory. Who knows? Hope you guys enjoy. Remember to go in the description, go check out the original video, but then go check out, or I guess leave a like on this video as well. Subscribe for some more reactions, Pokemon content. We got Legends ZA coming out in like a month. So we will be there, of course. And yeah, it's gonna be it for me. Bye, love y'all.